All right, Tyler here. This is gonna be the first of a two-part series on the Morimoto XB headlights for the 2014 to present Toyota 4Runner. So right now I've got the Series 1 Morimoto headlights, and there were some initial complaints on these about the beam pattern and the output. And then in my case, there are a couple LEDs in the DRLs that are starting to kind of flicker and go out. So what we're gonna do is first I'm gonna show you what these look like just on the road, so you can kind of see and get an idea of what the beam pattern is, and I'll kind of explain. So here's them firing up in a mostly dark setting. So that is full on. And as you notice, they have a pretty nice cutoff at the top. And they are, I mean, from my angle, they look pretty bright, although it looks like on the camera, from what I'm seeing, now you can kind of see them a little bit better now that we're out of my garage, but that's essentially what we're looking at. So now I'm turning out of the driveway here and heading up, and you can kind of see on the outside, they make a bit of a V pattern. The big complaint with these is that if you look to the right and to the left, there's not a whole lot of light over there. So what a lot of people do is they run the fog lights. So turning the fog lights on, which I have, you can actually see it illuminates a lot more of that outside, but not everybody wants to run those. And these are actually the Morimoto XB fog lights as well, with the yellow film over the top, like the luminate or the Lamex. So anyway, turn those back on just because that's not what we're gonna be looking at today. This kind of just gives you more of an idea. So this is just low beams only. So on the Series 1 Morimotos, the low beams are just the two outer projectors, and the inner projector is just the high beams. So whereas on the new ones, all three projectors are going to be low beams. So you'll see on the second part of the video the comparison there. And dang it, I was going to show you all the high beams. So I think we're going to wait here a second so I don't blind these people up this direction. So now here's showing, you can see how these throw down the road, and then here's the high beams. You can see that they go above. It's a bit scattered, and it's just like, again, the single beam for the highs. And you don't really get still much of anything off to the sides. Now it's back just to the low beams again. So this is actually a pretty dark area right here, so you can really see, again, not a whole lot off to the left there. Yeah, off to the right, still not. You just really big dead spots. There's fog lights again. They really light that part up. And there's the highs again. You can see what they do. Really light up the tree line, everything above and beyond the cutoff. And then back to just the low beams again. So again, that is the Morimoto XB Series 1, the Gen 1 headlights for the 2014 to 2021 Toyota 4Runner. Tyler here again. This is going to be part 2 of the Morimoto XB LED headlight series for the Toyota 4Runner. So the first video I did, part 1, had the Gen 1 headlights, the ones that came out towards the end of 2019, and these are the Gen 2 headlights now that we're looking at that came out earlier 2020. So the first thing you notice, they actually do feel brighter, and that's because now instead of 2 projectors on each side, you actually now have all 3 working as your low beam. So another immediate thing to notice is over on this side, on the left side, there was a lot of complaints on the previous generation where it looked like just like a V in front of the car, and you couldn't actually see very well going in front of you. So they made some adjustments to the projectors, and with that third projector now, you can actually get a better view. So these are fog lights off, so no fog lights right now, and you can actually see pretty well on both sides of the vehicle, pretty much all the way to where you see in pretty much any other normal headlight. So if you turn the fog lights on, it really doesn't actually do any more for you on the outside as it did, you know, on the previous gen. So you really don't need to run fog lights anymore. It's not a necessity like I felt like it was on the Gen 1s. So there's fog lights off. So you do get a little bit more, it looks like, just in the lower portion on the passenger side. But on the driver's side, you really don't. You can see just as well, you know, off to the side of the road with the fog lights on as you can without them. You're not really gaining much there. So cheers to Morimoto on that one for getting these right this time. This is a much better beam pattern. It feels like they're brighter. You can see a lot further down road, a lot better. The high beams are massive. The high beams are now double the output that they were on the previous generation. So you actually have two projectors now. The two inner projectors have basically a cutoff on them, so kind of like the bi-xenon style projector where it's a single beam, but then you actually have the cutoff on the projector that's removed to allow light to pass through the top. So you're getting essentially double the brightness down road now on the high beams. So their high beams are on now, low beams, and then high beams. So you're getting a ton more out of that. So anyway, that is it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below, and remember to like and follow.